Everyone, welcome to another episode of What is Your Story? Today we have somebody very special. He's a real estate agent here in Temecula Valley. His name is David Casey. I cannot wait to hear his story. First, I'm going to just introduce myself real quick. My name is Louis from Service Zoom Marketing Agency. We provide social media management, website design, and SEO services. Without further ado, we would love to hear the story of Mr. David Casey on how he became a real estate agent and what is his passion, and also what's your specialty, David. Welcome, David, to the show.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it, sir. It's going to be really cool to tell my story pretty much for the first time on social media about how I got into real estate. So excited to be here.
Love to hear more about it. So go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right. Well, we'll take you back to my previous profession before starting my real estate career. I was a public school teacher. I taught everything agricultural science related. So FFA, aquaponics, growing your own food, sustainability, stuff like that. And I did that in middle school and high school for about 8 years. And I also coached soccer. And real estate is always something that I had been interested in, doing my own investing out of state in long-term rentals in Florida and short-term rentals here in California. So once me and my wife decided that we were going to make a change for our family, we both decided to leave public education. And I decided to go full-time into real estate. And it's been about 2 years now, and here we are.
2 years in the Valley or total?
2 years total. So I've lived in the Valley my whole life. I've grown up here. I graduated from Temecula Valley High School. So I know this area very, very well. And it has, proven very helpful to have a network of people that I grew up with that live in Temecula. So I'm very fortunate.
So speaking of the area, right, and what's your take on the real estate market in Temecula Valley right now?
Well, yeah, it depends on what area that you're referring to. So right now, what I'm seeing is tons of competition for desirable neighborhoods in Temecula that are anywhere between the 600,000 range and the 800,000 range.
Really?
We're seeing people offers come back again, and we're seeing people, purchasing homes $30,000, $40,000 over the asking price. So I don't think that a lot of people were quite ready for that, but you can still see that even though interest rates are, not where people would like them to be, the market is still pretty competitive.
So speaking of interest rate, what's your view on that? Do you think it's going to go up? It's going to go down? What's the buzz out there?
So as an agent, I try to make it a practice to leave the fortune telling to the, lending and loan officers and lending experts. But what I really try to focus on with my client is, at the end of the day, what is their monthly payment that they are comfortable with?
Yeah.
Regardless of the interest rate, where would you like to be? And then we work together, get a roadmap to get there.
Cool. So I love real estate, so I'm just gonna ask you a couple more questions, just top of my head. What would be some of the things that a person can do to prepare their home, for sale? Like, what, in your opinion, what do you think the most important thing, and maybe a list of some of the other things that are important, from number 1 to like 5?
Yeah, so I think homeowners believe that they need to sometimes do these major renovations to get ready to sell. And you should really sit down with a market expert and go through it, because the renovation is going to cost something. Now, are you going to get that money back out when you sell? These are things to consider. you don't just want to start throwing money at something that has no resale value. Generally speaking, a home that is vacant and staged is much easier to sell than a home that is currently being lived in, for a couple different reasons. But ideally, the best case scenario for an agent is to help the person selling their home find a home first and move into that home. And then you have a blank slate to work with, and you can stage the home, you can clean up the home, you can do any renovations, any minor, touch-ups. And this will help the home sell for a higher value and a lot quicker than a home that is currently being lived in.
I see. That's cool. All right. So let's say I'm a brand new agent, right? So I just got my license. Give me advice. What should I do next? How do I market myself? How do I get clients?
Oh man. So I do still consider myself a new agent. I think I have a lot of good experience in my time, working in the Valley. But a couple things that I would probably say to somebody considering getting their license or that just got their license would be, it's not as easy as people make it appear to be on social media. I think that's one of the big misconceptions. Everybody thinks that the job is a breeze and it doesn't take a lot of effort and work. That's not the case. It does take a lot of dedication and time. And honestly, me, myself, I'm still trying to figure out that balance in between how much time I spend on the business and the time being, a good father and a good husband.
Yeah.
So finding that kind of sweet spot where I can still be effective in my business, but still be present at home. That's one of the major things that I would consider. And then the other one would be really interview other brokers in the Valley, see where you fit in best, right? What's their culture about? What's their vision? What do they value as a team? And see where you best fit. And that's where you're going to do most of your learning, from the people that you surround yourself with. So that's a huge one that I think people just jump on to the first team and they don't go talk to anybody else.
Yeah.
And then
tell me about oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. The last thing.
I was just going to say last. Yeah. Just be true to who you are.
Yeah.
Right. I think we have this idea that you have to, fake it till you make it, or, pretend to be something that you're not.
Yeah.
Just be true to who you are, be authentic, and the people that you really connect with, they'll want to work with you for who you are, not who you're pretending to be.
Yeah. That's a great advice. I was just going to ask you, is like, how did you choose the brokerage firm, that you're working for? So tell us a little bit about that firm.
Yeah. So Mint Real Estate is actually based in Orange County.
Okay.
So most of my team works out of Orange County.
Okay.
And what I have been working on trying to do, besides obviously helping everybody here in Temecula Valley, which is my network of people where I grew up and people that trust me, is building that bridge from Orange County to Riverside County. And the reason that I'm trying to do that is because our surrounding counties, San Diego, LA, Orange County, in the market that we're in currently, those are mainly the markets that we see people selling homes and then either moving to Riverside County because it's more affordable, or people are selling and they're deciding to either downsize or leave the state. So everything's situational. When everybody asks, is it a good time to buy or sell right now? Every situation is so unique. And that's one of the things that I love about real estate.
That's awesome. All right. So last question is, how can people reach you? How can they check out your website? Can you just give them your phone number real quick? And then can they call you about selling a home or purchasing a home?
Absolutely.
All the above.
Absolutely. The first thing that I would do really is just have a conversation, and there's no pressure, no obligation. Just kind of lay out what your
I
plan
love that.
is.
Hmm.
And I will be completely honest with, hey, based on what you told me, maybe now isn't the best time for you to sell, because you're going to end up with, X amount mortgage payment that's puts you in an uncomfortable position.
Yeah.
And, I would love to help people sell their house, but if they tell me their goals and it doesn't align at this moment, then I'm just going to be honest about that. So I would say, reach out on email, DM at mintrealestate.com. You can call me anytime. I'm on all the social media platforms. One of the big things this year is to really get better at social media, because I don't post that often.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I probably need to carve out a little bit more time to do. But I'm on, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of it. So anybody who needs help, I'm glad to help and just have a conversation.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for coming on this episode of What's Your Story. I cannot wait to hear more about your next big adventure, and so you guys support David Casey. Reach out to him, just give him a call and get some information from him. He knows a lot about real estate. And then support your local businesses, guys. Support local businesses. All right. Thank you again for coming on the show, David, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, I love it. I will see you soon. Thank you very much for having me. And I look forward to hearing from anybody that has any questions.